From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, February 6th. Going to be a nice day, partly cloudy, but highs are going to climb into the mid to upper 40s and will stay pretty much dry. There are some rain chances for later on in the week. State police are investigating the weekend police shootings that left 2 officers wounded and 2 suspects dead. The first happened in Mitchell just after 3 yesterday morning. State police say Lawrence County Deputy Joshua Rhodes suffered 2 gunshots and is out of the hospital. Mitchell police officer Christian Anderson was shot once and remained stable. The man they were trying to arrest, Anthony Richmond, is dead. ISP says the shooting happened during a traffic stop after a police dog noticed the smell of drugs. Police say the suspect ran and pulled out a handgun, firing shots and hitting both officers. State police say one of the 2 officers returned fire, hitting the suspect. They say he was pronounced dead at the scene. Police tell News 8 that the shooting was captured on the officer's body camera and investigators are reviewing it. A second police shooting in Marion left a person dead. Released body camera video sheds light on what happened. It initially started as a shots fired call on Florence Street. Police say they were told the shots came from a gold SUV. They found it and pulled over 34-year-old William White. The video shows officers telling White to get back inside the vehicle, but he ran off, so an officer fired his taser. There was a struggle, and police say White pulled out a handgun. Investigators say that's when the officer fired his gun, killing White. The name of the Marion police officer who fired the shot has not been released. State police will present their findings to the Grant County prosecutor, who will then decide whether to file charges. As American lawmakers look to learn more, China is lashing out about the decision to shoot down a suspected spy balloon. U.S. military fighter jets took out the balloon over the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of the Carolinas. A Senate briefing could happen as soon as tomorrow. Many Republicans are criticizing the Biden administration for not bringing down the balloon sooner. The Senate's top Democrat says the president acted at the right time and accuses Republicans of playing politics. China is accusing the U.S. of violating international law by shooting the balloon down. China claims it was a civilian craft that went off course, and the downing of it damages the effort to stabilize relations between the 2 countries. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken canceled a trip to China over the issue. A powerful earthquake has now killed more than 1,500 people in southeastern Turkey and northern Syria. The U.S. Geological Survey is calling it one of the strongest quakes to hit the region in more than a century. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit Turkey overnight. It was felt as far away as Cairo, Egypt. Turkey's president says more than 9,000 people are now frantically searching for survivors. Crews have already rescued more than 2,400 people. At least 45 countries, the EU, and NATO are pledging support. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the U.S. is profoundly concerned about the destruction, and the death toll certainly could rise even further. The NBA has banned several fans from attending home Grizzlies games. They're reportedly friends of Memphis star player Ja Morant. The bans stem from when the Pacers were in town. Apparently, there were words exchanged between the fans on the sidelines and Pacers players. Then after the game, The Athletic reports someone from an SUV pointed a red laser at the Pacers bus. Morant was also reportedly inside that SUV. There was fear that the laser could be attached to a gun, but the NBA found no evidence of a weapon, but still did issue the ban. Morant tweeted about the ordeal before yesterday's game against Toronto, saying reports of the incident paint this negative image on me and my fam and ban my brother from home games for a year. Unbelievable. Memphis's head coach says the team was fully compliant with the investigation. And the Pacers have now lost 12 of the team's last 14 games. Gary native Darius Garland led the Cleveland Cavs over the Pacers yesterday, 122-103. And Beyoncé now has 32 Grammys in her career, breaking a record held for 26 years. The category that put her over the top was Best Dance Electric Album for Renaissance. The overall album of the year went to Harry Styles for Harry's House. Other top honors, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Bonnie Raitt won Song of the Year for Just Like That. Lizzo took Record of the Year for About Damn Time. Jazz singer Samara Joy wins Best New Artist. And Viola Davis made history and got a standing ovation with the announcement of a Grammy she won before the broadcast for the recording of her memoir. It makes her one of the few EGOT winners, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Only 18 people have ever done that. And to business headlines, total credit card debt reached a record $930 billion in the fourth quarter of 2022, according to TransUnion. As balances rise, so have delinquencies. TransUnion says the average owed is $5,805. The average credit card interest rate offered in the last 3 months of 2022 stood at 21.6%, according to WalletHub. Discount dollar stores are becoming a key destination for affordable essentials, including food, according to a recent report. Over the past year, food prices overall have risen more than 10%. Egg prices alone soared 60%. Butter is up more than 31%, and lettuce jumped 25%. Already, more than 1 in 5 consumers buy groceries at dollar stores, according to CoreSite's weekly U.S. consumer tracker. A report says Southwest Airlines reducing minimum requirements for pilots. While the airline had required applicants to have spent at least 1,000 hours flying such aircraft, the Wall Street Journal said Saturday that it will now consider candidates with less of that type of experience. Southwest Airlines says recruiting change is aligned with hiring at or above FAA requirements. It is back to the drawing board for Disney and its union members at Walt Disney World. Union members voted down a contract proposal covering tens of thousands of service workers at the Florida theme park. The proposal reportedly didn't go far enough toward helping employees face cost of living hikes in housing and other expenses. Prices of the most popular Valentine's gifts increased in 2022, but the rate of inflation is starting to ease. Candy is up the most, 25%. According to data analysis from Pattern, but inflation is easing for wine and candles. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.